Chapter 273. Enoch and the 7 messengers on their way to the height. The adventure with the dragon. The dragon's untruthful speech on God and his creation. 16th March, 1843. Enoch, Kisahel, Sethlehem, Joram, and the other 4 brothers named Hill, Baal, Julel, and Darrell were transported by the Lord's power only 7,000 paces outside of the city to the foot of the height. There they were all returned to their own power, and from then on walked up the mountains step by step. When they had completed about half the distance and were passing by a large mountain cave, behold, a mighty dragon crawled out of the cave, obstructing the road to the travellers. Its form was a terrible sight, and its strength threatened to swallow the mountains. Its eyes were like boiling metal, its jaws like a yawning abyss from which came forth dense smoke and flames. The form of its head was like that of a wolf, but was as such larger than a giant ox. Its neck was like that of a leviathan, which is the greatest and mightiest monster of the ocean. Its body, covered by mighty scales and wing-like pointed double fins, was 666 yards in circumference. Its feet were like mighty uprooted oaks, and its tail, also 666 yards long and covered with scales, was divided into 7 coils. Thus the dragon looked terrifying and behaved as though it wanted to kill or at least challenge our wanderers. Since Enoch looked through the evil nature of the monster, he spoke the following words to the dragon. Listen, you scum of creation, who have arbitrarily formed your abominable phantom form. I know who you are and what your intention is. Me you will not ever deceive, just as you have so far been unable to do. For my love for God is mightier than all your strength, and out of it goes forth a great, holy light, in which light you stand before me naked in all your bottomless malice. But this your malice is an equally great weakness, which my love can scatter with a whiff. Let this be said to you openly, so that you may learn before whom you stand. I, Enoch, the sole high priest of God on earth, tell and command you, in the name of my and your God and Lord, to leave this spot and rush to the sea of your bottomless wickedness, and then no longer visit this region, but remain in your depth, there to feed on the slime of your malice. So be off and flee, and do not risk being touched by my finger. For you have known for a long time what such a touch might do to you. So be off and flee in the name of the Lord. Amen. Here the dragon turned to Enoch and spoke with the voice of a whore. Yes, Enoch, I know you, and none of you is unknown to me, since I am for you all a firm ground from the beginning. For ere a sun was shining in the firmament, and ere a thought was given to the forming of things and beings of every kind, I alone existed as a first efflux from God. In me the deity divided itself, and I was the light in God, and God saw that the light was mightier than he, wherefore he grew very fearful of the might of the light. Still he let the light shine more and more brightly through eternities. For he reasoned that thereby the light would consume and weaken itself, allowing him to be again fully strengthened in his nature. However, I, as the free light in God, could easily see through the eternal primordial God's scheme, and I realized that with all my far-reaching power, I would not ever be able to oppose his primordial fundamental power. I therefore spoke to him most gently. Here, you, my eternal, invincible first cause, since you fear my power as though it were greater than yours, which called me into being, do take all this your light from me, leaving me only with an existence that may stand opposite you, behold you, and discourse with you. But God, instead of granting my wish, only became angry, created other beings out of himself, confronted me with them as lords, and charged them with apprehending me in my centre, and then everywhere in infinity. Thus I was wrongly imprisoned. I was stripped of everything right to the ground of my being, and what you here see is all that was left to me in my great guilelessness, namely, nothing but this most miserable form, the awareness of what I was, and the sole capability of doing evil, lest mitigating circumstances should ever arise for me in eternity. Moreover, the full recognition of the divine will, added to which, however, the always wrong intent. I am a forever wrongfully accursed being, merely because God's wrath wills it so. I must be a devil out of God's anger. I must forever suffer and be accursed by every being, because God in his wrath and anger wants it thus. Oh, Enoch, I am a most miserable being. I must feel this forever most bitterly, yet I find it forever impossible to mend my ways. I am forever deprived of a chance to turn back, and am unable to change this my form. I must lie and deceive in order to deserve even more revenge on the part of God. I must eagerly see the good and true, but must, owing to my innate wrath, do only evil, so as to become more damnable and punishable. Oh, Enoch, this is a bad state for me. Will no one ever have mercy on me? Oh, Enoch, do not remove me from here. Do not make me more miserable than I am anyway. However, if you can destroy and scatter me forever, do so, and the realization of such action shall be my eternal thanks to you.